Welcome back to part 9, Act 8 of the glitchless category. Small jump since the end of the last video. We just kind of made our way over to the east, to the continent, and then I hit the save point there, so... That's all that happened between the end of the last video and here. This should be a relatively short video. Act 8 is pretty short. We just have to go through Derelict Factory, as well as the Cerulean Expanse, and we'll have one boss to do. So let's begin. We have a lot to talk about in the factory. From the outside, you're just going to make your way up along the side of the building and jump through the glass here to enter. And immediately jump down the building. From the outside, you're just going to make your way up along the side of the building and jump through the glass here to enter. And immediately jump down and kind of climb right beside the stairs there. You can jump down from the top, hit the switch. And we have a switch over here to the right that we need to hit. Taking this portal is going to force you into your first fight here. It should be your only fight if everything goes smooth for you. First thing, abeyance on the default target. Group them all together. Missed the timing on that. I don't know how much that's going to affect us. We'll see. For your next attack, whether you do Sunball or Crescent Arc, change from the default target down 1. You just want the main damage to switch over to a different enemy, while still hitting all of them. And then Sunball on that same target that you just hit to hopefully clean it all up. So because it missed the timing, it looks like this guy's probably just kind of holding on with a few HP. Hit the console and then climb up and immediately to the left. Just kind of make your way back down to teleport to that new area. There's a piece of armor off to the right-hand side here if you want to pick it up, but really it doesn't give a very big boost. And as you're learning the run and the category, feel free to take this campfire to prepare yourself if you were to catch an encounter in this area. You're going to be doing 6 encounter skips in total in here, and more often than not, you will get one of them to prepare yourself if you were to catch an encounter in this area. You're going to be doing 6 encounter skips in total in here, and more often than not, you will get one of them. But there's very specific things you can do to avoid all of these. So what I recommend is taking some time and literally just coming into this place and watching the beams for a while and just finding out what works for you. I'll call out what works for me on each of these beams, and hopefully that kind of helps you out. So for this first one, what I normally watch for is, the first thing I look for is both of them to go up in the corner. So there's kind of like some ticks that I'll count out when I see this happen. So I'm watching the beam to kind of hit the wall, like the right hand wall there, and I'll kind of just tick that out as corner, wall, me, wall, space, wall, wall, corner. And so after it goes me and then goes wall, I know there's a gap here that I can go through. And I know that sounds weird, but you're gonna, look at this for 5-10 minutes, and you're gonna find the thing that works for you, essentially. So in this case, I'm watching again for corner, and then it's gonna go down to me, wall, gap. It's gonna go look at this for, and then everything goes wall. I know there's a gap here that I can go through. And I know that sounds weird, but you're gonna, look at this for 5-10 minutes and you're gonna find the thing that works for you, essentially. So in this case, I'm watching again for corner, and then it's gonna go down to me, wall, gap. So come look at these for a while, find what works for you. For this one, I'm looking for a double tap. So there's 1, there's 2, goes to the center of the wall, there's a gap. And then the scene's gonna play out, and I'm gonna count. Again, it's gonna go 1, 2, towards the center, there's a gap. And for here, you're just waiting for a gap on the left-hand side. This one's a little more straightforward. I'll normally just wait until the left-hand side. And for here, you're just waiting for a gap on the left-hand side. This one's a little more straightforward. I'll normally just wait until the left-hand side is just completely clear, and I'll take that as my cue to go. So with your crane operator ID, you can start moving things. Around now. You could do right first, you could do left first, it's up to you. I'll normally do left first. This is kind of the more dangerous section of the two, so put your telepad over there, head on over, and we'll go talk about the next room. This room is my least favorite. If I'm going to take an encounter, I mentioned earlier, more likely you'll get one encounter. It's usually this one, and this is the one you want to get the least, because it's 2 drone bots, you got potentials for hex shields, and it's just an awful fight, but you'll get one. I'll normally do left first. Telepad over there, head on over, and we'll go talk about the next room. This room is my least favorite. if I'm going to take an encounter, I mentioned earlier, more likely you'll get one encounter. It's usually this one, and this is the one you want to get the least, because it's 2 drone bots, you got potentials for hex shields, and it's just an awful fight. But for me at least, this is kind of like the tightest one. What I'll normally pay attention for here is when there is this gap that occurs on the left-hand side and everything kind of goes to the right. There's kind of 2 times that this happens per cycle. And on one of the times, you have like kind of like this safe leeway room to move through, but on the second time of the cycle, you don't. So it's kind of a matter of identifying where the non-safe cycle was and then going in the cycle after that. So everything moves to the right, not safe. Everything moves to the right, not safe. Everything moves to the right. That one looks safer. Kind of watch for like these gaps when everything moves to the right. So everything looks safe there. This one I would expect will be not safe when it moves to the right. And if you need to, kind of exit and reset the room, because that will kind of reset what's going on, I believe. Again, take some time to come through and kind of just watch these for a while, and hope for the best when you're going through. This one, like I said, is probably my least favorite of them. So you're going up for this one and this one, and kind of watching for that pattern again as you go to exit. And kind of watching for that pattern. So you're going to be my least favorite of them. So you're going up for this one and this one, and kind of watching for that pattern again as go to exit. This one, and kind of watching for that pattern again as you go to exit. And take some time for the best when you're going through. This one, like I said, is probably my least favorite of them. So you're going up for this one and this one, and kind of watching for that pattern again as you go to exit. Grab center and the left items in the wall there. One of those is daggers for Sarai, so feel free to swap those up now. And in this room, I normally wait and watch for one of these like beams to come right down out into the door towards me, and then kind of I'm going like shortly afterwards. So we've seen a couple so far, but we'll wait for the next one. Up and around. Couple so far, but we'll wait for the next one. Up and around. And so there's kind of a triangle pattern that can occur with this like one on the left here. After you see the triangle go left. And same deal coming back out, triangle goes left. And I'll normally wait for like a beam to spike up like that one. And then I will go. Pattern that for the next one. Up and around. And so there's kind of a triangle pattern that can occur with this like one on the left here. After you see the triangle go left. And same deal coming back out. Triangle goes left. And I'll normally wait for like a beam to spike. We've seen a couple so far, but we'll wait for the next one. Up and around. And so there's kind of a triangle pattern that can occur with this like one on the left here. After you see the triangle go left. And same deal coming back out. Triangle goes left. And I'll normally wait for like a beam to spike up like that one. And then will go. And kind of feel it out, you know, advance, but if you feel like there's something that's heading in the direction you're heading, like, err on the side of caution. Practice makes perfect in this area, so highly recommend just take some time and come practice each of these rooms, and just come stare at those beams for a while. Soon enough, you'll be running through the room without even stopping. In here, you can grapple the wall, and when you hit the switch, you're going to want to wait a second, because if you grapple too soon, you're going to end up going to the wrong platform. It's just a little bizarre. You can actually go just a little too fast in this room. So you jump down, you're gonna wait for those beams to pass before you go through this room. So you jump down, you're gonna wait for those beams to pass before you go through. And grab this, head back down. And same sort of deal, you should be able to just kind of head right through, but like watch for the little gap. and make your way out. So now we're going back to the center room for one last little piece of the puzzle. So, same deal, wait for your opening on the left-hand side. You can kind of yellow down the center there if you're really feeling it, but I'll normally just wait for my gap on the left hand. Side. And now we have the battery on the left hand side here. We just need to grab that and put it over by the elevator so that we can exit. And there you go, there's 6 encounter skips. Don't kick yourself if you get, you know, one of them. More often than not, at this point you're like 4 hours into the run, and you may start to be getting a little bit tired, or or even just kind of on edge. You may be on a really good pace and you want the factory to go really well, so just try to calm yourself and, take a couple extra seconds to watch the cycle. If you have to. In Rapine, here's where we really start to see things pay off. So don't go too crazy here with your selling, right? You may still have a lot of money, but what you're going to want to do is top yourself up weapon-wise. And for this piece of equipment, you're going to buy this for Sarai because this is going to give a really considerable boost to what she currently has. And at this point in the game, things are really going to start to amp up and become more difficult, especially with the nerfs to Disorient and Great Eagle, and things just generally become a little more difficult since the update. So you'll want to start preparing yourself, and because we have so much money, like, we're kind of free to do that. So top yourself up with weapons and the one piece of gear there for Sarai. Come over to the item shop and just give your weapons and the one piece of gear there for Sarai. Come over to the item shop and just give yourself a couple of updated food items here. So this is where you start to see the really good food items in the game. You have the Panerai, which will give you 9 MP for your entire party. So I'll normally buy 2 of these, 2 of the parfaits, which are your new. updated revive items, and then I'll buy 2 of the Crystard, which are kind of like an HP MP mix, kind of like Boulier's. But for your entire party. And you can take this opportunity now that you've spent a bunch of money to go ahead and kind of sell everything that you don't need. To sort of top your money back up. You haven't sold anything really in any of these shops since the beginning of the game, so you should just have a bunch of things that you can sell at this point. Right? Make sure that you're, of course, not selling anything that would give you upgrades. If you've been doing all of your gear updates properly, then you should just be able to fire through this menu without thinking about it too much. But it's very easy to accidentally sell daggers for Sarai that you just picked up in the factory if you had forgotten to equip them, for example. So be kind of careful if you haven't touched your equipment in a while. And then as far as food goes, you should just be good to keep everything you have here. I don't really need an additional 16 gold, so I'm just going to hold on to this peach turtle, you know what I mean? Like, hold on to the additional food in case. You need it. And the rest of this money that you have here, you're going to save this all for Skybase. There's going to be one more shop before the end of the game, and so we're going to be spending the rest of our money at that shop. But for now, you're kind of topped up, and you should be ready to face the things on this new planet that you're on, you know? Into this... north room. You're going to skip the scene, head back out, and you're going to jump down the left-hand side, and there's another kind of food item you're going to pick up here. Scene, head back out, and you're going to jump down the left-hand side, and there's another kind of food item you're going to pick up here before you exit town. So store lights there, it was a purple light and a green light for the stores. And in this Aurelian Expanse, you have a very specific path that you need to go through. There's kind of like a puzzle that you would go through to sort of figure this all out, but have it written down or follow the note set and memorize it, and you'll be flying through. It's no fights, just again a very specific path that you have to take. And if you take the path incorrectly, it will reset on you. So try not to lose focus when you're moving through the area. Things that you'll start to really pay attention for when you're doing the run is kind of like the music cues and at what point you're exiting. When the music starts to change up kind of after this little section here, you generally want to be exiting the area like right around that point. So right after this. More of that part of the song. You hear, the slower you know you went. In here, you're just heading north, heading back south. You're skipping scenes. And then this will open up and put you inside. It's going to be a piece of gear here for Rashad. That you're going to update to. And there's like a little sparkle here. There's a couple of these in this building where there's just kind of little sparkles where you can just kind of pick up a money item. If you to quickly grab those. And here we have our Meduso fight. Now, this fight... used to be on a script and it was very easy to follow. Since the update and since Disorient's nerf, this is a very frustrating fight now. There is still a script in the note set that you can follow along with, but you may need to improvise a little bit kind of as you get towards the end of the fight, just based on the amount of heals that he throws out and what you were and weren't able to break. So I'm not going to really note out everything that happens here, but again, there is a note set and a script that you can follow for this. You just may have to improvise a little bit towards the end of the fight. So starting out, we're just going to build some live mana. and we're kind of aiming towards 3 boost moonerangs as much as possible. We want to break this lock here if we can. And so we should have 3 boosts now. Making sure to save the Leer for our last person in that turn so that we can do this. So at this point, you would just want to continue the process of getting live mana out so that you can prepare for the next 3 boost Moonerang. And here, you're going to want to try to break as many of these heals as possible. So what you may want to do is attack one of them with Sarai, for example, and then go in with like a dash strike just to break as many locks and try to break at least one. And here, you're going to want to try. And so at this point, you would just want to continue the process of getting live mana out so that you can prepare for the next 3 boost Moonerang. And here, you're going to want to try to break as many of these heals as possible. So what you may want to do is attack one of them with Sarai, for example, and then go in with like a dash strike just to break as many locks and try to break at least one of these heals. Get a little creative depending on what the lock sets are. You're really just trying to soften this big heal that he's doing here. And at this point, we're sort of just disorienting to push him into the next cycle of turns. That's kind of like the main purpose of Disorient now, that it no longer pushes the timer back to 2. So we're going to continue with boost. We need one more boost. And you're going to go Arcane Barrage, since this does still push the timer back 1 for us. And then from here, you should be able to Roshan Ultimate, and that's going to do some good damage, heal out your party. If anybody needs healing, particularly, make sure you have them out when you do this. This script hasn't changed too much from before the update, but again, you will need to improvise a little bit as you get towards the end of it, because the Disorient just doesn't quite give you, Disorient, Eagle, and Arcane Barrage just don't give you as much timer space as you used to have with all of this, so... Villier, the only one available to us right now, so we're going to take a boost. We're going to continue to try to build some boost here. If you want to try to hammer out and you're feeling good with your Moonerangs, take this opportunity to get the damage in now, because after this, you're going to have 5 targets in total, and Moonerang really won't be ideal at this point. So if you want to, sort of bang out your Moonerang while there's only 1 target, feel free to do that. Again, you're sort of just starting to improvise as you get towards the end of the fight. The red ones do a fair amount of damage, so try to focus on those if you can. The red and purple ones are particularly dangerous. And honest, this is a very frustrating fight now. Words 3 boost. You compare 3 boost Moonerang. And here you're going to want to try to break, break at least. And at this point, we're sort of just disorientating to push him into the next cycle of. The lock set. You would just want to. And here you're going to want to. Try to break as many of these heals as possible. So what you may want to do is attack one of them with Sarai, for example, and then go in with like a dash strike just to break as many locks and try to break at least one of these heals. Push ultimate, particularly give you here. Take you're gonna, if you want, feel free to do the fight. Those if you can. The red and purple ones are particularly dangerous. Just trying to build more mana, live mana, so that we can do another triple Moonerang here. We got 2. And then if it's still alive after this, try to just use up MP on whoever has some left. You could do something like another Arcane Barrage, perhaps.